And let's see if we can get the man in here himself. Let's see here. All right. All right. Can you hear us, Mitch?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. I can hear you. Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Hey, man. I'm so glad to have you on the show. Welcome to Sunday Mornings with a Tiki Man, first of all. And you got the hippie chick down there, and Golden, who is a smoker in himself, you know. So he was pretty excited about the name of the band, Dan Jackson and the Smokers.
Smokers.
Yeah, that's right, man. So tell us a little bit about your music, man. Tell us about you're down in San Antonio, right?
Just moved out here, just a few months ago. So I'm from Los Angeles, so start off with that. So the guys that I recorded with, they're all in LA. So I'm going to be, and I could talk about that in a little bit. How I'm going to be going back out there next month. But my background was always in country music. Mm-hmm. And up until about 2021, I was doing country. And I was taking a long break from music, almost 2 years, you know, just up until I was thinking about moving and everything, and things were changing. And I was listening to, I had gotten the Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes album.
Yeah.
And, you know, I always knew, I knew Margaritaville, and that was it, man. But when I heard that song, that changed a lot of stuff. And I said, man, this is the kind of song, this is the kind of music to make right here. It's just so much happier, and it feels good. Like, you just feel so much better. So I thought trop rock for me was like the kind of music to start making. And so I was like, I got to get some additional instruments. I didn't have shakers or anything like that to make, any kind of an island vibe. I just have my acoustic guitar and electric guitar. And it's been a learning experience. And now we're at the point where we record a full album. We've been putting one song out a month. So the first song we did was called Island Girl, and we put that one out. I think you might show that one today.
Yeah, we're going to show the video, because I think it's very interesting how artificial intelligence, this will actually be our first video of playing artificial intelligence from an artist. So that's a whole nother topic, how that all came about. But yeah, Island Girl is the song. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, yeah, we did that song, and we're just continuing to record and think about the writing process and how we want to make these kind of songs. Because like I said, my whole background was always in country. And so this style is a little new to me, and I spend most of my time just doing the chord structures and coming up with the changes. And then most of the time is just doing the lyrics and thinking about, what are you going to say, and trying to be creative too with the trop rock genre is a challenge as well, because I don't, we want to do the songs about the relaxation and, go out and have a drink, but we want to do as many different kinds of songs as we can. And that's why I was listening to your guys' radio station. You guys were talking about giving opportunities to, different genres, and not just strictly, or different types of songs, and kind of branching out. And I really like that. And that spoke to me. And that's why I remember I reached out to you guys, and I was like, hey, this would be really good. Like, sounds perfect for something that we were looking at. So,
yeah, trop rock as itself, it has a lot of country swing, roots embedded into it. And and you can go all the way back to we talked about this last week, Elvis with Elvis of Blue Hawaii and all that kinds of stuff, that different types of music. But really it's all about escapism, and it really doesn't have to be a margarita on the beach and all that kind of stuff. I mean, those are great songs, but it's really for me personally, paradise is a state of mind. And it can be Golden on his boat over here, fishing yesterday. It could be, for Kelly McGuire, it's in Belize. For a lot of people, it's Key West. So it could be, on the coast of Texas. Whatever paradise is, it's all about escapism.
Yeah, well, to go to the beach, since we moved out here to San Antonio, and it's so hot out here, we're hitting 100 degrees every day, and we're like, hey, let's go down to the beach. What's the closest beach? And we're from LA. This is usually a 20-minute drive. Well, we look at it, it's Corpus Christi, and we go down there, and I tell you, the whole place was down at the beach that day.
Yeah.
It was 107 degrees. Everyone and their dog was down there, and it was the first time I had been in the water and out in the beach water for some time, and so I was like, man, I took it for granted, being out there in LA and just having all those beaches, but man, they got a whole hurricane running through. California.
What's hopefully nobody that is in harm's way, but we were just talking about it that it was like 1939 since the last time a hurricane hit that part of California, and so a lot of people living in LA have never witnessed anything like that. So it's really, really dangerous situation where people don't really understand it and don't understand that it's really the aftermath. The flooding is really the biggest part of the danger when it comes to hurricane. But it's an amazing thing what's going on out there. Do you have anybody in harm's way out in L.A.?
Well, they're all I called my dad last night because he's right in the path.
Yeah.
And but he's like, he's prepared himself and he's got his sandbags up and his garden's protected, and everyone's pretty much ready. And it went from a level 4 to a level 2 last time I checked.
Sure.
But everyone I know is in California. So I'll be keeping a close eye on that and sending love their way if they need anything. And good thing I'll be going out there soon too. Just to be doing some more music, and we'll see how the aftermath of this is, and if maybe I need to go down there sooner.
Yeah. Well, San Antonio is it's one of my favorite cities to go to. I spent 23 years really going down there. I used to work for a company that was based out of San Antonio. So I have spent my time there at the Riverwalk, and Dirty Nelly's was my favorite bar that I would always go to whenever I got checked in down there. And I spent more than my share of time. I mean, I've been thrown out of that bar a time or two in San Antonio. So, but I love San Antonio, but it is hot, man. It's hot this time of year down there.
Yeah, man. It's and our pool's been down, and those guys are like, oh, it's gonna get fixed, and I'm like, I'm ready, man. I'm on the edge of my seat over here. I'm ready to take a dip.
Yeah, Corpus Christi, all that area. There's a lot of trop rockers. We just had Jonas Lawrence and his band here that did we have a big summer party we do here every year, and they were here playing on our stage out here at the Tiki Bar. They're from Texas. Jerry Diaz and Hannah's Reef, they're all from Texas. Donnie Brewer's from Texas. So a lot of great music in Texas from the trop rock, coastal Americana scene for sure.
Yeah, and I love that, the coastal Americana. I was watching because before we were just saying we were trop rock.
Yeah.
And then so you coined the phrase, right, ma'am?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Perfect.
Thank you.
That's perfect.
Thank you.
Coastal Americana. We adopted that onto our Instagram page. We're trop
That's
rock,
awesome.
Coastal Americana, because it just sounds just right.
It does to me too.
Yeah, Americana is such a broader umbrella from a marketing standpoint, and we've explained this a lot. But whenever we used to be the trop rock paradise, people, like you say, people know 2 or 3 Jimmy Buffett songs, Cheeseburger in Paradise, Margaritaville, whatever. But, I mean, they don't understand the vast amount of material that Jimmy Buffett has, number one. But from a marketing standpoint, just knowing those couple songs, it's like, well, what the hell is trop rock? Well, it's kind of like Jimmy Buffett. And they're like, well, some people are into that, some people are not. But when you say Americana, it opens up a whole nother door. They're like, oh, okay, I understand what that is. And then you explain we're more or less on the coastal side of Americana.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think there's a better way to put it. Like, I think it sounds better than trop rock.
I do too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
There's yacht rock, another one.
Yep, yacht rock.
I don't think I'm going to go with that one at all. So.
Yeah, Yacht Rock. I used to listen to that channel when I was traveling on Sirius XM. They had Yacht Rock, and it was kind of the similar kind of thing of what I kind of envisioned our radio station becoming one day. It was kind of, because we like to have basically the radio station came out of the Tiki Bar out back, and it would just be summer parties here and people just wanting to hear good music, and we used to have CD players and we would burn CDs and say, oh man, I hadn't heard that song in a long time and that kind of thing. And so the radio station is heavily influenced by all types of genre of music.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, huh?
Yeah. So now let's talk a little bit about the name of the band. I don't know if you guys, if you're in the witness protection program or whatever, so you didn't want to use your real name. So you came up with Dan Jackson and the Smokers. But I know there's a story behind it because we talked about it this week. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Joseph's on the keyboard, by the way. So you'll hear him in some of the songs, and he's playing the keyboard. Him and I were both in high school together. We went to the same school out in California. And we had this science professor, who spent like half the class time talking about how he was in a band before he was a teacher. And this is what he really wanted to talk about. And so, oh, yeah, I was in a band, but he would never, it would kill us because he would never give us the name of the band. Like, what band? We're like, Dan, what band was it? Oh, I can't tell you. And we were in a private school, it was a Christian school. Maybe he didn't want us to hear what they were singing about or something. That's what I'm assuming.
Sure.
And we never got the name of that band. And so when we started playing music, we're like, hey, let's just call it the Dan Jackson Band, because he would never tell us, And I was like, and maybe if we ever have some success, we'll find Dan Jackson, and maybe he'll finally tell us the name of his band. And, but I was like, no, we have to have like a Dan Jackson and something. Well, the other half of the class, when he wasn't talking about his band, he was talking about smoking barbecue. So we just said, how about and the Smokers? Instead of barbecue smokers, we just used and the Smokers because it sounds a little better. But yeah, so it's literally a reference to barbecue.
I love that. That's great.
Love it for sure.
Well, this is the smoking king.
He is
here.
our grill master here, official grill master of Harrison Bay here.
You see his shirt? It says, "I'd smoke that."
I'd smoke that. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Because I would.
Yeah. Yes, he would. Yeah.
When we were in that class, Dan Jackson would talk about smoking for 12 to 24 hours, sometimes days, where he would just sit in his backyard. Unbelievably long smoker sessions. But yeah, that's what we named the band after. And it sounds like it could be about something totally else, but
yeah,
that's what it is.
I think it's great.
There's no one to name Dan Jackson in our band. It's me, Mitchell, and my buddy Joseph that are doing all the music, and then we have Romina, who does some of the background vocals. When I can't quite get up that high and we need that boost, we bring in our big gun Romina, and she helps me get like with more of like the bigger sound. So
very cool.
So yeah.
All right, man. Well, listen, I want to put you back in the green room, put us all back in the green room. That way we won't have any distortion. And then I'm going to play Island Girl, the video. I've got the video we're going to play, which is all done by artificial intelligence. And then when we come back, we'll talk about the song itself, of course, and then how the video came about, okay?
Yeah, and to put it out there that the video footage is artificial intelligence, not the music.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm going to put you back in the green room. Just bear with us a little bit, okay? Hold on just a second here. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. And let's see here. I've got it down here. Here we go, everybody.
Change my head. I found peace in an aisle west. All love and sun. Ooh, my island girl, she's the one. In the air and through the sky, I'm lifted by her touch. She showed me how the heart can mean so much. Try a little sunshine, baby, a little loving too. She said, you keep shining and you'll find that it all comes back to you. It all comes back to you. It all comes back to you. We swim at night and make love by the firelight. We walk the shore, my island girl, forevermore. In the air and through the sky, I'm lifted by her touch. She showed me how the heart means so much. Try a little sunshine, baby, a little loving too. She said, you keep shining and you'll find that it all comes back to you. It all comes back to you. It all comes back to you. Now every plan I had before, the sand on the ocean floor, and sand brings me down, man. But it's where I found my pearl, and that's you, my island girl. Are you my island girl?
There we go.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is
I
awesome.
love the lyrics.
Yeah, let me see if I can get us back over here and get us all back into the. There we go, man. Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's great.
All right. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
reaction?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So everybody's watching on YouTube. We're very fortunate to be able to stream on the radio and, of course, YouTube at the same time. So, and then we'll go back and cut this interview out separately as well, so I can send it to you. You can do whatever you want to with it. But tell us a little bit about, how this all came about. The song first. Tell us a little bit about the song.
Man, I was thinking about different chord changes that would sound really beautiful, and usually I wouldn't. There's one chord in there that you wouldn't normally use out of in that set of chords, and it just kind of had a sound, or it took me to an island. As I was playing it, I said, "Hey, let's do a song about an island." Okay, cool. But what's special about it? And I wanted to do a song about just this person who had been working real hard, needing an escape. And then that wasn't good enough. I couldn't stop there. I thought when they get to the island, they're going to fall in love with like the most beautiful island girl ever. And, his dream came true.
Yeah.
He went to the island, and when by the end of the song, he's talking about, hey, everything that was important to him before is sand on the ocean floor. But he found his pearl.
Yeah.
And that's his island girl. And everyone hopefully has their own island girl, or,
Absolutely. Yeah.
can relate to something like that, So that was the first one. That was the first song, and there's, I didn't bust out like the steel drum halfway through it or do anything crazy. It was just really kind of a mellow one, but it's a good song. I think that is, it was a good like first song, and then there's other songs that we've done where we have more of those, the
Sure.
steel drums and more shakers and stuff like that. But for this one. So I knew one of the really important parts with this song, besides the lyrics, which just took me forever, it just took me a long time to sit there and write this, was I knew that we needed to have some kind of vocal on there, which was Romina in the background, that was the island girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's specific, she like methodically comes in the certain parts where he's talking about, he's saying, she said, try a little sunshine, a little loving too, and you keep shining and it'll all come back to you. Well, she said she's saying that with him, so it's kind of like, it's like supposed to be her saying it too. So yeah, that was important. We brought in, we found Romina off of YouTube, believe it or not.
Wow.
And she was doing these like insane rock covers of Striper songs, which is like 80s hair metal. And I said,
Yeah.
this girl can sing. Like she's got some pipes, and let's ask her if she'd be interested in doing some music. And thank God we got her. So, and then of course Joseph on the piano, very he's bouncing around doing his thing, and I don't know how to play piano myself, but he's Elton John in the corner, hugging all the kind of just the right corners and right on the right words. He, gives a little flair with his piano, and when it all came together, I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
And just mixing and mastering, and then we were done.
Well, there you go. Then you decided you needed a video.
Yeah, for sure. Because I liked the song, and I knew I would want a video for it, but I had already moved to San Antonio by the time I was mixing these songs. We recorded them all when we were in California. And when I got out here, I wasn't in the position to just drive to California and be like, hey, let's go down and make an Island Girl video. So I was really thinking about it, and it was like, eat me up. I didn't, what was we going to do? I hadn't been to Corpus Christi. I'm not going to go down there and start recording people or something like that. So I go on the internet, and I'm thinking, what can I hire someone to go make a video? What can I do? And I had just started a new job at that time, and I was already busy. And so, but I knew like I had to make time to do this. I go and I find this guy on Fiverr. It's an AI artist, so it's artificial intelligence, and they're using the computers to come up with images and video images that go along with whatever is being sung about. So they have some sort of manipulation with what's being seen. It's not like they just computer take the song and it's done. They have to type in what they want to see, and then the computer generates that. I don't know how to do that. It's there is some kind of art to that, but it's definitely different. And I knew that putting that video out could there's some of the scenes where the art might look kind of scary because you can tell it's not real. But I was like, either this is going to be people will love it, or it's just going to freak them out. So
well, I love it. I love it.
I think it really comes across more like a dream.
Yeah, I like that.
With that, the way it's going in and out and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't look bad by no means. I think it's more or less like coming across as a dream to me. That's how I interpreted it anyway.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, maybe it was just this whole guy's dream. We gotta add an ending to that video where the guy wakes up and realizes he never left the house.
Yeah, he's just a guy on the couch eating Cheetos. Yeah. Well, that was a great dream. Yeah.
No, it was fantastic.
Island Girl too.
Yeah. There you go.
It's gonna be a sad song.
Well, I suspect that as people, it's kind of like you go back 10 years ago. Not everybody knew how to mix their own music, how to do things, and that technology came along, and I really believe you'll see more of this where people will learn how to do these things and type in and do this and do that, and the way that and I'm starting to train myself a little bit in on it because I spend a tremendous amount of time putting videos together and stuff like that. But being able to type in what you want instead of searching for it and it bringing it to you is an amazing tool. So I'm learning it on the side a little bit.
So that's how that video was done. There is also the ability to do that with pictures, and that's how the Island Girl art cover was done. So it's a girl on the beach, and she's just like, that's the cover of the song.
Yeah.
That artwork was also done using artificial intelligence. That was with DALL-E. So I made that one. I just typed girl standing on beach, tropical sunset background.
Yeah.
And it came up with really killer pictures. And I always thought to myself, I'm like, man, this is going to hope this doesn't put like artists out of a job, because this thing is just spitting out gold.
That whole thing that's going on in Hollywood right now with the Actors Guild and all that, all of that is what the real pushing point is that, you're putting actors and people that do the behind the scenes of all these shows and stuff out of work. And that's their biggest fear. So they're trying to get that into the contract right now. So, it is what it is, and I think that I think it's going to change. 10 years from now, it's going to be a whole different ballgame on a lot of things. But that's just part of it. We're moving forward. I grew up in a house where you had one telephone hanging in the kitchen. All right, you know, we didn't have cell phones and all this other stuff. Now you got all
We've
this.
got all this great.
Which, by the way, they're
technology.
bringing back the flip phone. Did you see that? It's called something else. It's
Some Galaxy phone or something.
and the guy that created the new beanbag. It's not a beanbag.
the moon pod.
The moon pod.
I looked at
it's
that.
a beanbag.
I looked at that commercial and I was like, that is a beanbag from
haven't
the
seen it.
70s. I was like, what?
Yeah.
No styrofoam balls all over the house.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah,
But
if you have a dog, you're gonna love having beanbags. You're gonna rip that thing apart.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yes.
seen those in a long time, man. I haven't seen a beanbag in a long time.
oh well, it's a moon pod now.
Now
So,
they're making them again, the moon pod.
yeah. But anyway, tell us a little bit how people can follow you. Are you guys going to be playing in Texas, or are you going to go back to LA to play? How's that going to work?
Well, the plan is to go back in September, and because we're kind of running out of songs to keep putting out. And we tried doing some recording remotely, and I like to be in the room when we record. It's just like kind of, when you're writing a song, you kind of know what you want out of a certain thing. You kind of want to be there to be like, hey, we need a little more there, a little more there, a little more punch that.
Sure.
In order to find the song, sorry, I can go off in different directions here.
That's all right. That's okay.
To find the music, you can go on Spotify and type in Dan Jackson and the Smokers. You can go on YouTube if you don't have Spotify and type in Dan Jackson and the Smokers. And we're also kind of everywhere. That we use a platform called DistroKid to push our music out. And it puts it to just tons of these sites where I don't even go on, like iHeartRadio. I know we're on there. But Pandora, we're on there. And just a bunch of others. I think most streaming platforms you will be able to find us.
Mm-hmm.
And even like if you were making a story or something on Instagram or Facebook, you could like find clips of our music to use for your stories and stuff like that. So we'll have right now we have 3 songs on our and to our name that's released, but there's going to be a lot more. And this is just the beginning, and we're going to be trying a lot of cool stuff, new stuff. There's songs that are coming up I'm really excited about. And so even just being able to do this kind of thing and get on the radio and talk with you guys this is a big blessing, and it's a big deal. And we really appreciate this.
Sure.
Because we're just starting out. We can definitely use any kind of support. So this means a lot to us. And with what we're rocking our 3 songs, and appreciate having us on.
Well, it's good stuff, man, and we really appreciate you being here and sharing your story with us. And of course, you can also listen to Dan Jackson and the Smokers on Tiki Man Radio, because we have all 3 songs in there. And then, of course, whenever you get some more music, or you've got something, a major announcement, or if you're coming to Tennessee and you want to come in the studio with us,
down there, that'd be cool.
Yeah, man. You got my cell phone, so you can reach out to us, and that's what we do, man. We support local artists, we support the independent artists. That's what this whole thing is about. So, anything we can do to help get the word out, you let us know, okay?
I appreciate that. You guys rock, man.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for joining us, and we're going to let you fly and get back to the show. But I'll cut this interview out; it'll be separate on YouTube, and I'll send you a link to it. Okay?
Perfect. I appreciate that.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right,
Have a
buddy.
good one.
See you, buddy.